Buenos dias, muchachos, muchachas, muchichis. How you doing? Happy Slapper Day. I'm going to slap our number on this. Anybody?
Welcome to episode 295 of SlapperCast.
SlapperCast, weekly broadcast, weekly
Talk show.
Chat show.
Podcast / road diary.
Weekly catch up with Blaggards. I believe it's episode 295. That's 592 if you're just waking up. But yeah, 295 SlapperCast. Delighted to have you along. As you can tell, we're back in sunny old Texas after being away for about just under 2 weeks I was there for a little under 2 weeks in Ireland, and had a monstrous time with Doc's Music Tours out of Orlando, Florida. Dennis O'Carroll, you're a beast. Nicely done, my friend. Tony driving the bus is the only man that can drink 2 bottles of whiskey while driving and still put a coach through the eye of a needle. Amazing talent. But that's what you get when you're from Killarney. Gifts, non-stop gifts. Yeah, wonderful trip. Tonight we're heading off to a place called College Station. But again, that's just no interest to anybody because it's already been and gone. But I'm going to tell you right now, I am predicting another just monumental evening in Northgate College Station at O'Bannon's Tap House with your host, Chris Steele. We're still working on a New Year's thing right now. Fingers crossed that we're going to be able to, on episode 296, we're going to be able to tell you, our dear slapperheads, we're going to be able to tell you what that is and hit a couple of rocks, but we're going to see if we can straighten the course and get ready to, or get back on the horse and straighten the course, and we'll get back to you on New Year's Eve 2024 to be continued. We want to also say hello and a big get well soon, and a hope you're all doing well to all our friends in Florida, in Georgia, in the Carolinas. Quite a horrific, another horrific hurricane, and just biblical flooding. Very, very sorry to hear. I heard from Kelly Navarro, our dear friend, and she says she's doing all right. Delighted about that. And so all of our friends out there, hope you are doing well, and hope you recovered, and hope you're dry and got power and all that stuff. Trust me, we've been through it here in Texas, and our hearts go out to you. So hope that's going well. I asked the lads a couple of questions today. We're going to fly through it here.
The boss said, answer these questions, or you have to carry all the equipment yourself. Just kidding.
Yeah, so we want to answer the questions because we know what the other thing entails. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, us two, we're in timeout a lot, so we're trying not to be in timeout.
Yeah, because we're the babies of the band. Me more so than Turbo here.
Hey, appreciate that. Mr. Frank, here we go. Question number 1. What is your favorite smell?
My favorite smell?
What kind of question is that? Favorite smell?
Favorite smell?
Favorite smell. I'm going to say my favorite smell is fresh brewed coffee.
Coffee beans.
Fresh ground beans, and then, a good percolating coffee. That's my favorite smell in the whole world.
Favorite smell? I'm just going to say the smell of chocolate.
What?
What's your favorite smell?
Miss Moxie. That's my favorite smell.
I asked them what their favorite food was, and I've got a favorite food, and I just blanket statement, I would just say Mexican. Why do I say that? Well, a couple of young ladies will tell you, shh, no. In moving to Houston and with some of the people I met here in this wonderful town, I'm going to say to you right now, I did find the most amazing Mexican food I've ever had in my life, and it's actually pushed me into a whole area of cuisine that I never would have. I can't say never. I don't believe that I would have found myself a part of if it wasn't in the wonderful Mexican array of choices that we have here in Houston, Texas. Huntsville, not so much. Huntsville, you need a good Mexican or Tex-Mex place. What we have right now is barely fit for prisoners. You know that. So favorite, but I'm gonna put a little asterisk there on the Mexican, a Mexterisk, if you will. But we're gonna put a little asterisk on here. We're gonna say my other favorite food, which will be number 1, is Indian, believe it or not. I had a wonderful, I don't know, I lost count how many I had in Ireland last week, but in the neat little town they call Sallinoggin, there's an Indian restaurant called the Spice Cottage, and it's in the heart of the Noggin, Sallinoggin that is, and it is their lamb rogan josh, extra spicy with onion bhajis and chili, garlic, naan. Oh, stop. I just have the same thing every time. And the lovely lady behind the counter said, Jesus, we have more shit than that to eat. Why didn't you try something else? I said, shut up. I put her in her place. No, that's all I had. I just magnificent. And it's my go-to dish, and I would eat it every single day, 3 times a day, on and on and on. Wow. So there's my two 1 favorites. Not 21. They're my 2 top favorites. And if I had to choose between Mexican and Indian, I'd say Mindian or Mexican. Anyway, something. But, oh, so good. So good. I think I'm going to turn around right now and go get some phenomenal stuff.
What is your favorite food?
My favorite food is nachos. I just like Mexican food in general, like nachos, fajitas. Those are kind of my go-tos at Mexican food restaurants. What about you?
I'm going to go bean and cheese burritos.
Alrighty.
That's my favorite food.
Says Turbo the man himself.
Favorite food, and my answer is always going to be the same. We've touched on this before on this show, but my mother's spaghetti sauce. My mother's spaghetti sauce will always be my favorite food in the whole wide world. That's never going to change.
What's next?
Favorite exercise?
Favorite exercise is
Walking.
For me, it's jumping jacks.
Oh, I'm going decline bench press.
vomiting. Why? Because I get to eat way too much and then get rid of it all. It's the Roman in me. That's what I do. No, favorite exercise would have to be running, although I haven't done near enough of it lately. I did get to run a couple of times in Ireland, and thanks to my sister, my award-winning sister, Moira, who just came second in her age group in the Ironman, whatever it was. Wow. Very, very, very proud of that young lady. Yeah, phenomenal achievement. Second in her age group, and yeah, just we got to jump in the ocean a couple of times, which was pretty cold. Apparently, they didn't have much of a summer, so they didn't get a lot of chance for the water to heat up. So we had a few swims in Ireland that were quite bitter, but I enjoyed every second of it. So, but my favorite exercise would have to be running. I do miss it, and I have to do something about that. To be continued. Favorite waste of time.
Favorite waste of time?
Favorite waste of time.
Playing video games.
Oh, day trading.
All right.
How about sitting at red lights when there's nobody else around? This is the thing I was thinking about earlier. Is those quiet moments in the car where there's nobody else around, like sitting, like say you go to the grocery store, and instead of going straight to the grocery store, you sit in your car for a minute and fuck around on your phone or listen to music or something, and just have a quiet moment by yourself. Maybe that's not technically a waste of time because it's psychologically beneficial, but I do like those quiet moments. Let's face it, when you're out there driving late at night and there's a red light and there's literally no traffic around anywhere, there's no cops, but you sit at the red light anyway, that's a good waste of time, isn't it? Sometimes I enjoy that. It's just nice to have a moment sometimes, even if it is technically a waste of time.
My favorite waste of time right now is I used to sit and write, and I'm just sitting and watching the wildlife. We're in this beautiful transition right now. It is 91 degrees today, and it's only October. It's early October, Slapper Day, number 295, October. The wildlife has just exploded. There's just, I'm seeing the most wonderful birds, and of course the deer and the quite a few snakes, but they won't be around anymore. So anyway, my favorite waste of time is watching all this wonderful wildlife in sunny old Texas, and the fact that we have such a warm summer, and then such it's usually a very, very slight, gradual decline into the cold. You know, we don't get very cold here at all. You know, so it's just year round. It's beautiful, and we get to see a lot of wonderful wildlife. So my favorite waste of time right now is just nature watching. And what else? There was another thing that I asked.
What's next?
Do you believe in life after love?
Of course I fucking do. It's like the story of my life.
Do I believe in life after love? I'm going to say yeah, and I feel like it's important still experience life after you find true love. What about you, Turbo?
Without Moxie, my life's over.
Well said.
Absolutely not.
I want to talk about something that happened last night because it's kind of funny. At O'Bannon's in College Station, we had a really fun night there. First set there was absolutely just mobbed, just packed to the gills. And there were some very attractive young women dancing in front of me. And they were goofing around and taking pictures of me. One of them showed me a picture of Mr. Clean, referring to my hairstyle or lack thereof. So I thought, okay, that's fair cop. Okay, that's cool. And then a couple of their friends came over, and one of the things that happens in tightly packed clubs like this, and all musicians know what I'm talking about, people start putting the drinks either on your gear or too close to your gear, and you have to start actually bussing, hey, can you please move that drink? And there was one guy who had put his beer on our sub, and I awkwardly, in the middle of a song, had to reach over and say, hey, could you take that off? And he thought I wanted the beer. He's like, do you want it? I'm like, no, I don't want the beer. He's like, oh, you can have it. And he put it on the wall that was next to me. It's like, and he just left it there. I was like, no. So that happens, and people were putting their drinks in front of me on the rail that was in front of me, and I was trying to keep an eye on it because I realized that people need to put the drinks somewhere when they're taking pictures and stuff or dancing, and I'm like, I'm trying to be tolerant. And I had kind of wasn't paying attention after a while to how many glasses were in front of me. One of them bumped into the railing and knocked 2 cocktail glasses onto my pedal board, smashing the glass, and they were mortified, and I was too, because I was like, I didn't know if there was anything in those glasses because I didn't really look and see them before they fell. So they could tell I was upset. I was kneeling down and picking the glass off and like trying to figure out what the damage was, but it was dark, so I was trying not to cut myself in the glass. And the girl who had knocked the glasses into me was so apologetic and was like, and I kind of nodded at her like, okay. And they all left after that. I was kind of like, damn it. But it was only after that break, we got to the next break at the end of that set, and I was able to shine a light on it and see that there was no liquid in those glasses, so there was no damage done to any of my gear. Rather a heart-stopping moment for any musician when shit like that happens. So if anybody from that group of young women it happens to be watching this, just know everything's okay. You're good. We just need to be a little more careful where those glasses go. That's all. Shit happens. It's a bar.
All right. Well, I'm just going to throw out a question here spontaneously here.
Let's see what you got.
So hopefully we'll get some extra credits points with the boss man on this one. If you were to choose a different instrument in the band, what instrument would you choose?
Just so you know, this question's already been asked. So we're not going to get bonus points for it.
Okay, well, I'll think of another one then.
The last time I said this, I said bass because it's rhythm, but I think I would change my mind. I'm going to change my answer. Singing.
All right, so he says singing. I'm going to say drums, because I have played a little bit of drums in the past, although I would expect it would take a lot of practice for me to play like this guy here.
Stop.
A drumming master.
No, stop.
No, I'm telling the truth here.
I'm going to drop you off on the side of the road. I'm going to drop you off on the side of the road. Dude, we missed Frank. We did a couple weeks in Ireland and we didn't have Frank. Ah!
And I missed them too.
Wow. That was a loud noise.
This is getting so unserious.
What's another question that we could try to get extra?
What's your favorite band?
Favorite band?
Have we asked you this before?
I don't think so, no. But see, favorite band. I'm going to say I'm kind of tied right now between the Beatles and Green Day. Yeah, actually, I saw something recently where it was Green Day was performing in New York. However, they were all like disguised as just like normal people playing at like a New York subway station. But then like once they were playing for a little bit and had a huge crowd, they all just revealed themselves to be Green Day. And I thought it was pretty cool and a good performance too. Yeah. What about you, Turbo? Favorite band?
Mine changes. So right now, my favorite band, 21 Pilots.
Oh yes, good band for sure. Good band.
But, you know, my diehard favorite band always stays in my top 3, stays in my top 5, top 3. Descendants, Rise Against. You know, those are like my heart bands. But the band I'm listening to the most right now, that I'm going to say right now is my favorite, is 21 Pilots.
Fair enough.
All right, we'll see you at the show.
Yep. See you there.
Great weekend. Crazy weekend. We played College Station. We finished up there, you know, as we usually do, around 2 a.m. and didn't really get on the road until 3, something like that. I didn't get home until 4:30, and I had to get up at 7:30 to get ready for this other gig because we were loading in at 9:30 up in Conroe. So I really only slept like 3 hours. So at this point, I'm kind of running on adrenaline. What was funny too is I got there before anybody else did. So I got there and it was like 9:24, and I said, "Here." I texted the guys, and Patrick goes, "Good, find coffee and donuts." And I texted back. I said, "There's a Shipley's 10 minutes from here." And he goes, "I like the way you think. You like, go for it." So okay, I'm gonna be late. It's gonna make me late for load in. He's like, "Don't worry about it." So I drove all the way over to the Shipley's and bought a dozen donuts. So that was kind of a fun way to take the edge off the morning because we were all exhausted, obviously. But I just, it's moments like these, it's days like these that I'm just really reminded of how powerful our commitment is to this, because I've known plenty of musicians who have been in this band who would have been really unhappy about this booking. Well, I have to get up at 7:30. Oh, 3 hours of sleep. Oh, that's great. Who's the genius who booked this gig? Nobody complains. They're in our current lineup right now. Ooh, nobody complains about stuff like that. It's a wonderful thing, and that's anybody who's in a band. This is the kind of lineup you want to have. And if you are in a band and you are complaining about stuff like that, think twice. I mean, honestly, not very many people get to do this in their lifetimes. Sometimes it's worth a little bit of extra hard work and a little bit less sleep some days to make things like this happen. Because the whole point of it is to brighten people's day, is to make people's lives a little bit easier and a little bit more enjoyable. And that requires us to put in longer days and longer hours, and sometimes a lot less sleep, a lot of miles driven. Sometimes people knock glasses into your pedal board. Sometimes beer gets spilled on you or whatever the fuck. It's all part of the ride. This is all part of the experience. And I am good with all of it. So this was a good weekend. So anyway, thank you, y'all.
Anyway, we're going to let you go. We hope you're doing well. We'll see you all soon. Cheers.